Well, he's the third most powerful man in Tennessee for a couple of weeks now, at least in a way.
Knoxville lawmaker Bill Dunn serving right now in Nashville as acting Speaker of the House until a new Speaker is elected August 23rd. Dunn taking over last Friday, as we told you, following Speaker Glenn Cassida's resignation. Cassida coming under fire following multiple scandals, including text messages from a few years ago. They were allegedly sent to Cassida by his former chief of staff. They included admitted drug use, sexist and racist messages. In May, House Republicans taking a vote of no confidence for the Speaker.
Now, 2 weeks ago now, House Republicans selecting Cameron Sexton out of 6 candidates to replace Cassida. Sexton currently represents Cumberland, Van Buren, and Putnam counties.
But for now, acting Speaker Dunn holding down the fort, you might say. New at 4, WATE 6 on your side reporter Blake Stevens speaking to him about the job, what he's doing over these next few weeks. He joins us in the studio.
Yeah, and Blake, that is the question. What is he hoping to accomplish here in the next 3 weeks?
Well, acting Speaker Dunn says he hopes to bring a little boring to the Capitol for a few weeks anyway. You know, he's made that joke before, but he really believes it's what's needed after months of controversy you just heard about. Tennessee's longest-serving Republican in the House isn't just keeping the seat warm for the next Speaker, though. Tonight, he meets with Amazon executives about building their headquarters in Nashville. Tomorrow, he'll sit in as Speaker on the State Building Commission. They approve big construction projects around the state. His priority is this: avoid making a splash while steering the ship, the state, in the right direction. Even if it is just acting, and even if it is just a few weeks, a lawmaker from Knoxville has the Speaker's gavel for the first time in more than 100 years.
Well, first of all, America's a great country because, you know, when I was first elected to office and for 12, 13 years, I was a tree climber. And I would literally, you know, on Monday around lunchtime, come out of a tree, drive to Nashville, put on my suit, and go out on the House floor to vote. And so a blue-collar guy who wore a hard hat can become, you know, the Speaker of the acting Speaker of the House.
Dunn stepping in after months of scandal, which he believes distracted from the positives of the last legislative session.
Luckily, some things have taken care of themselves. What I need to do is just make sure that we don't go back and start having some more silliness and things that take us off target of what we should be doing.
Dunn promising to stay on target, doing the work of the people. He hopes his fellow lawmakers are doing the same.
And so if people are busy doing good, doing what they're supposed to do, they don't have time to get into trouble. And so I would encourage everybody all my fellow legislators, get home, be doing the right things, the good things, and you won't find yourself on the front page of the paper.
When Dunn is done with the gavel, he'll stay on as Speaker Pro Tem. He'll also remain a lawmaker, he says, that's willing to speak his mind. That independence is why he says he didn't run for Speaker himself.
And sometimes you need an independent voice, someone who's not trying to remain Speaker, someone who can get up and say, folks, this isn't right, this is what we need to do, we're going down the wrong path.
Dunn says Cameron Sexton has the skills needed to be a successful Speaker, and the two are communicating throughout this transition period. Dunn has turned down many of the perks of the office. He still drives himself, and he declined that bigger but temporary office. Guys.
All right, Blake. And again, Cameron Sexton is expected to officially become the next Speaker August 23rd.
Yeah, he was picked by Republican caucus, and they currently have a supermajority in the House.